marijuana has been demonized to the point of where people cannot associate marijuana with a successful person. That's the government's brainwashing. When you're a kid, you're taught, just say no, it's for losers. The federal government has marijuana listed as a Class 1 controlled substance along with heroin and acid. You don't know that. Most people don't know that. We get taught it in school, but still we don't know it. That's because they distract you with other things, okay? Now, in 1988, the DEA's own administrative law judge made a ruling, and they said, you know, you should move marijuana from a Class 1 to a Class 2 because it has medicinal value. And they thought about it, and they ignored the ruling. They said, I think that would send the wrong message to kids. What the fuck is that about? Telling the kids the truth is the wrong message. You'd rather keep the scare tactic and lie to them. So now, why today marijuana is a Class 1 controlled substance with heroin and acid with no medicinal value whatsoever, Class 2 with more medicinal value is cocaine, meth, and you tell me if that's not fucked up. But that is the DEA's position on marijuana. Why? Wow. Because they don't want to legalize it, because all that they stand to lose from a weed that grows out in the public that 0 people have overdosed from in the history of the planet. We've had an overdose of water in the last year. You heard about that? There was a radio contest. This girl overdosed on water. In the history of the planet, there's not ever been one overdose of marijuana. Guess what? You probably don't know that. They probably don't know that. That's fascinating. And you also can't find one case in any medical journal of anyone that's had lung cancer, throat cancer, tongue cancer, lip cancer. Come on. Not one case? That's incredible. So do we tell people that? No. Instead, we make them think that smoking pot is going to kill them. When in fact, cigarettes kill 1 in 5 Americans. Not 1 in 5 smokers. 1 in 5 Americans. Over 450,000 Americans a year die as a direct result from tobacco smoke. I watch Celebrity Rehab and they're smoking cigarettes on there. I'm like, come on, nicotine is one of the most addictive drugs we've ever fucking known. How can that be okay? But it's not.
That's what I'm saying. You know, I see people go to NA and AA meetings, and you know they're not drinking anymore, they're not doing drugs anymore, and they're smoking cigarettes. I'm going
because the government makes money off of cigarettes and alcohol.
Exactly.
Big business. And honestly, anybody that does the research will find out that is 100% the agenda behind the prohibition of marijuana. In 1937, they outlawed marijuana because they said it causes violence, promiscuity, and if you smoke enough, you'll go insane. All bullshit, but they've never gone back and said, oh, by the way, that's bullshit. No, instead, they protect their lives, and the government stays behind their position. Says, oh, yeah, let's just keep it outlawed. And people ask me, do you ever really think that we'll see it legal? What they don't know is that we have 12 states that have legalized it right now today. California in 1996 with Proposition 215 legalized cannabis with a doctor's referral. We now have 12 states. There's like another 3 that are under consideration. Out of 50 states, that's fucking major.
Yeah,
it really is.
15 states is major. Yeah.
Now we got to get the federal government to acknowledge and respect state rights, because they can override state laws. So while the state of California says it's perfectly legal to go into a marijuana dispensary with a doctor's recommendation and get your medicine, a DEA from Washington can still come in and say, oh, we don't acknowledge that state rule. We got our own rules, because we like to keep it as a Class 1 controlled substance with no medicinal value. Most people know that it does have some medicinal value, but they don't care enough to go and make a change in the laws. They don't care that we spend almost $1 million a year arresting marijuana patients like they're bad people, like they're criminals, like they're killers or whatever. They don't care about it. They know, oh, I think it has medicine, but maybe it's only like if you're dying of AIDS, you know. No, a lot of people can benefit from it. And here in California, it has the most lax qualifications, and then it varies. You go to Rhode Island, you do have to be a lot more serious to get it, but that's the move in progress. So, back to what brought all this up, when Rob Van Dam a two championship belt holding motherfucker on top of the world, the representative of pro wrestling, is associated with marijuana smoking, I say 2 thumbs up, kids. I don't think kids should do it, and I want kids to know that. I want the chance to explain what I do know and what I do feel. And as far as any athlete or any celebrity, you know, like when Jay Leno every night, when he talks and jokes to Kevin, his guitar player, about marijuana, that all changes the climate. It changes the perception of this demonized drug, this dangerous hallucinogenic. It helps people say, oh, it's not that bad, and eventually kids that grow up watching that, kids that grow up reading that Rob Van Dam had possession of marijuana when he's the most graceful wrestler they've ever seen, pulling off backflips, walking the ropes. So they're going to grow up, and they're going to be in the office someday, and then they're going to be able to make important decisions. So I will not apologize for that moment. I'm glad that it happened, and God, with enough time, we just might see it happen again.
There you go.